Hello traders, I know that it's been a while since I have uploaded a video, but I have been on vacation and I'm still on vacation, so I apologize for that. But we are going to go through Wyckoff and how I'm trading it. Now, first of all, I'm on GBP NZD, British Pound, New Zealand Dollar, and as you can see in a live example, the way I'm doing it right here, as we have said, I'm identifying my order blocks, okay? And we had a move like that. Of course, we were here, we were making lower highs, lower lows, but now we broke above this previous area, okay? We made a higher low and then we broke again. Until we break this area, of course, my bias is bullish now. And what I did here, of course, I did highlight my last order block, which is this one, this candlestick. I also want to highlight the wick because it's lower than this previous candlestick, and I waited for price to retrace right there. Then if I go down to the 5-minute chart, for example, let's go down to the 8-minute chart that I was right here, we can see a potential Wyckoff schematic taking place with the preliminary support being right here, seller's climax, automatic rally, secondary test in phase B, and we do not necessarily need to have a spring right here, but as it seems, it is very possible that now we are creating our spring, but nonetheless it doesn't have to work, of course. It doesn't have to be the perfect Wyckoff schematic, and of course price might as well move downwards from here and never give us a spring or a retest of the spring and continuation. Now that I have gone through this live example, let's say, let's move to the US dollar Swiss franc trade that I also posted on Instagram, and let's start with a 4-hour chart right here. In this occasion we didn't have any form of order block, let's say. Probably if we move down to a lower time frame, and let me maximize that, probably we could find an order block right here. So let me try the 1 hour also. Yep, and of course we have an order block right here. Okay, but this is besides the point in this specific occasion, and the reason for that is that we have a perfect Wyckoff schematic taking place even on the 4-hour chart, and this is a perfect schematic of a reaccumulation. Okay, so of course at the beginning we might think that this is a distribution with the preliminary supply being here, the buyer's climax, automatic rally, but then as you can see right here, we have created those equal lows right here. You can see that they were broken by this secondary test in phase B, actually, that you see here. Then we retraced again. Many people might have started buying again over here, so probably over here, okay, or even right here they started buying, and then we had this beautiful spring, which is the last move. And let me do that so you can also see the schematic unfolding in real time, so you can see the schematic from the Wyckoff. Okay, you see it's exactly the same. Actually it would be this one, but then it evolved into a reaccumulation and not into a distribution. So from the phase B and on, we are on a reaccumulation, as you can see over here. So now that we have had our spring, if we go down to the 15-minute chart, let's say, and let's go right here, we had the spring. Of course, we can see that we never came back to retest this order block right here, and we never went even further down because we also have an imbalance here. So it would have been very possible for price to come back and fill out this imbalance that we can see right here, this small imbalance, and also test the last order block and then bounce. Nonetheless, it didn't do that, and it just kept making higher highs and higher lows, as we can see right here. When I saw the trade, actually, this was exactly right here. Price was exactly at this spot right here. So what I saw, of course, we haven't tested this part, but we do not expect price to come back here. We will consider if price makes it back here, probably our trend to be invalidated. So actually what we did right here, as we said, we just kept making higher highs and higher lows, and as we can see, these were all mitigated. These order blocks were all mitigated. This was mitigated by this wick. Okay, of course we have a small gap over here that was not mitigated. Okay, this was mitigated by this part right here, and as I said, we do not expect price, of course price can do that, but we do not expect it to come back to this area if we are to continue with this Wyckoff schematic. So what I did here, I had two orders. One of the orders was placed immediately on the 15-minute chart. As you can see, we identified this imbalance, and let me delete this one so you can see in real time we expected price to come back and of course retest this order block. This is one order block, those two candlesticks right here, as you can see. So my entry could have been a bit better, but I was afraid of missing out, so I placed my pending order on the middle of this imbalance, as we can see over here, which happens to be almost the point of the high of this order block. And this was this trade right here, which I'm gonna move exactly right here. And this was the perfect trade, probably the best trade that I have taken with an analysis of a Wyckoff schematic, to which I'm very new, but I have made very good progress and I have done a lot of back testing also. So once price retraced here back into this area, what I did now, let me go to the replay tool. Of course, the one order that we can see right here was activated, okay? And now we activated this order right here with this wick, as you can see. But nonetheless, let me go a little bit back right here. Let's go move to the point where we were activated over here. And then I scaled down to the 1 minute chart and I waited for a reaccumulation taking place. And here we have the perfect reaccumulation taking place, as you can see. Here we see on the 1 minute chart that we made equal lows right here, which were breached, were broken by this wick, as we see over here. We were probably expecting our spring. Okay, it doesn't need to happen, but in this occasion we also broke this part over here, this low, so the market grabbed more liquidity, as we can see. And now let's see what we waited for and why we had this area and why we took this trade. Okay, and you can see it, of course, because I have it noted already down. And on the 1 minute chart, what we can see over here, of course, some people might want to wait for this whole thing to break and then re-enter right here, but because I had the bias and we were already in the previous trade, I decided to take another trade, kind of a riskier approach, but nonetheless we were going for huge percentages. So now I can see this imbalance on the 1 minute chart, as you can see right here. Let me draw it perfectly. So I decided to place, when price developed, of course, I decided to place my pending order on the middle of this imbalance. And we also have our last order block, which you can draw from here, for example, this last down candle before the up move. So let's see what happened here. We have quite an impulsive move from this level on the 1 minute chart. Okay, very nice. And here we decided to place our pending order right here, okay, with a stop loss of 2.5 pips, if I recall correctly. And let's see how this played out. Okay. Yeah, this is another nice confirmation. It is way better to place our order right here when we break these highs, of course, but I think I had already placed this pending order. And let's see how this played out. You see, we got activated perfectly by this candlestick, as you can see right here. Let's see if we went even further into the area. We didn't. And then from here we bounced. Now the unfortunate part in this whole situation, let me exit the replay mode. Okay, let's exit the replay mode right here. The very unfortunate part, now this trade would be running, let's see how much it would be running, at 1 to 22, and it went up to 1 to 33 within 3 days, I think. So let me try this out. Within 2 days and 16 hours. Nonetheless, my trade was closed right here, because when I went to sleep, which was 5:30 here, I had taken partial profits, of course, on both trades, and I placed my stop loss right below this area, as you can see right here. And this was the very unfortunate event. It's not worth it missing this whole movement just to win an extra 1% as I did. And both trades were closed exactly right here, unfortunately, for the second half of the trade, which in the end of the day gave me not a so good risk to reward, of course, because as you can see here, we would have broken the higher reaccumulation. As we can see, this is what we expected. Anyways, we would have broken this reaccumulation and we would have had two trades running, the one on 9.9% and the other one, if we scale down and we maximize this thing a little bit, and the other one would have gone to 32.2%, so an overall 40%, and I made just an overall 6% on these two trades. Nonetheless, this is the way I took these trades. Excuse me, because once again I'm on vacation and I cannot be making videos regularly, but this is the whole logic. And I have also copied and pasted Wyckoff on Notion. Here I am, and I have the most important things that I can always run back to them and study them when they develop in the real market. So it is pretty simple. If you go and type Wyckoff, and you can see this tutorial right here, and you can copy paste whatever you want or just check it from the original site right here. Okay, and then check out how it corresponds to the schematic developing on your charts. Nonetheless, do not expect it always to be so perfect. This is by the textbook, this is perfect. Actually, also this one, this small reaccumulation right here. But of course, everything will come with practice. I'm practicing in the real market always. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm placing real money. It means that sometimes I'm just noting down my Wyckoff schematics on the chart, and I'm seeing if they would have played out. Nonetheless, this was a trade that I took, as I said, and I only gained the 6% on my account, which is a pity, but I have learned something and I'm not making the same mistake again to move my stop losses below previous lows that early, of course. Please leave me a like into this video and tell me if you want me to make more videos with Wyckoff and explaining order blocks and stuff like that. I have been studying a lot on that subject. I wish you all a great upcoming weekend. Thank you all for watching. Until next time.